let me let you in on a little secret. When God has closed a door and when God has delivered you from something, it will never feel comfortable again. Because now you are seeing with new eyes. In this period of transition, it's not just God stripping things away, to be cruel. He's stripping things away so you can see the truth. He's stripping things away that were clouding your judgment. He was stripping away all things in your life that were deceptive. For example, many of you found me from my video where I talked about leaving my full-time job. And in that video, I talked a lot about just being betrayed, right? Being betrayed by people that I worked with, and also feeling like I had betrayed and abandoned myself in a way. And so over these last 6 months, God has really been working with me on removing any and all types of deception from my life. Things that I was doing, or things that I believed in, or people that I followed, or beliefs that I had that I felt in my core were true. God has stripped all of that away from me to show me what the truth really is. And so this is really a refining process. So I say this to say, just because you think that you're not where you want to be right now, just because you feel like you've lost more than you've gained, know that that is not the truth. A lot of people come online and they talk about their testimonies, and people usually wait until they have this big breakthrough to talk about their testimony. And the testimony usually revolves around like, God got me a new job. God got me a house. God put X amount of money in my bank account. He connected me to this opportunity, right? And I get it. The reality is, first things have to happen spiritually, then mentally, then is it emotionally, and then we see it in the material world, right? It comes into fruition materially. And so that's when a lot of us wait to give our testimony. But what I want you guys to know is that when you're in a season where you feel like God has taken away more than he has given you, he's actually given you so much. In these last 6 months, I haven't made any money, and yet I am still here, and I am still being provided for in the most mysterious of ways. God has placed amazing people in my life. He has placed amazing opportunities in front of me. He has connected me with people who are doing the types of things that I want to do, people that I'm constantly inspired by, that I get to work with. He's done so many things for me in these past 6 months. And to say that I haven't grown, or to say that I haven't gained anything just because materially it hasn't come into fruition yet, is a disservice to God. So part of the reason you may feel tempted to go back to that ex, or to call up your old boss and see if you could come back to the job, or I don't know, pick up drinking again, or whatever it is, it's because it's certain. It's because you know what the outcome of engaging in those sorts of things will be, right? It's just familiar, and you're not doing it because you know it'll feel good. Don't go back. Don't try to go back, because you've outgrown it. Be in this present moment and know that where you are is so special and so important. And I beg you to open your eyes and see all of the blessings that God has given you, all of the prayers that God has answered through stripping away things in your life that in the moment really hurt, but in the long run were for your greater good. God shuts doors to prepare you for something so much greater than you could have even imagined. And when we decide to take control and go back and open a shut door that God intentionally closed, what we're demonstrating to God is that we don't believe in him and his goodness, and we don't have faith that he's going to carry us through in spite of our uncertainty. All of these, rejections as well that you may be experiencing. So maybe you're in this period of transition and you're like, okay, I need to do something about this. I need to be making money. I need a new job, or I'm ready to get back out there and I need to start dating, and things just aren't working out. Understand that it's all for your protection, and it's all for your provision, and it's all a part of the refinement process. So look at every rejection, and I know everyone says this, but truly look at it as a redirection and thank God for it, because it could be God telling you now is not the time, and it could be God telling you you're falling back into your old ways and you're settling again. For example, haven't made money in 6 months, kind of ready to start making money. And I've been applying to all these jobs, and I've been applying to jobs in spaces that 6 months ago I knew I don't want to be in these types of spaces anymore. I don't like the way they make me feel. It doesn't feel aligned with me. I feel completely restricted. I can't be myself. I hate working in these spaces. And that's one of the reasons I left my last job. Now here I am in this financial bind, and I'm operating from a space of fear. I'm backtracking. I'm trying to convince myself that, that was a moment of weakness, and maybe that place in particular wasn't for me. That doesn't mean that there aren't other opportunities in these spaces that can be even better. And so maybe I need to change my perspective and try to integrate into these spaces again so I can have that stability and that certainty that I've been missing. It's a trap. Don't do it. Honestly, I haven't even been taking it personally, because the more I get rejected by these spaces, the more I understand that I was right in leaving that last job, because these spaces are not designed for me, or like I wasn't designed for these spaces. It's not aligned with me. It's not in alignment with God's purpose for me. And so allowing myself to see God for who he truly is, that he's the type of person, he's the type of being that is like, I'm going to keep shutting doors in your face to protect you. And this is a form of guidance, right? Like, let's begin to look at rejection as a form of guidance. God is saying, this is not for you. I don't want this for you. You are to pursue the purpose that I have placed in your heart, and I need you to follow that. And even if it doesn't make sense, and even if you're not going to see the fruits of your labor, or you don't believe, let's distinguish that. Even if you don't believe that if you take this step, that you're going to see the fruits of your labor immediately, you have to do it anyway and have faith. Follow me and I will handle the rest. That's really what faith is, right? It's like listening to God and your intuition. And really the two are the same thing to me. But like really like tuning into what God is telling you and not ignoring it. I know what God wants me to do. I know what steps he wants me to take. And the more I get rejected, the more confirmation it is for me that like the thing I really want to do, my dream, is what God wants me to do. And he put it in my heart for a reason. And yet I'm still trying to go back to old ways that I know will not fulfill me, that I know will make me unhappy, that I know I will burn out from doing again. Why? Because I'm afraid. And that's another thing. Like sometimes we're not even just afraid of like what's to come because we don't know. Sometimes we're afraid of our own potential. We're afraid of what's going to be required of us when we get what we want. When we're scared, we go back to what's comfortable. We go back to what's safe. Have you ever been in a relationship and you're, in a space where you're like, I'm choosing better. I'm not dealing with Derek and his nonsense anymore. Like, Derek can go bye-bye. And you're like, I just want better. I want someone who respects me. I want someone who values me. I want someone who I don't have to really try to be anything but myself for. Like, you have these new standards. And so you end up attracting the type of person that aligns with all the things that you want and the new energy that you're emanating. And things are going great. And then next thing you know, your ex pops up, Derek. Okay, Derek is hitting up your line. He's DMing you and he's like, hey, big head. And it's like, And for a moment, you're like scared because on one hand, things are going so well with this new person. And you're like, I'm not used to things going this well. And being in a healthy relationship is actually harder than being in an unhealthy relationship. Fun fact. There's so much that goes into it. There's compromise. There's the need for you to have self-awareness and to take accountability and to handle your own emotions and then be compassionate to another person. Like, it's so many things. And then you have Derek here, who is toxic and who broke your heart and who made you feel unworthy and who just made you feel all these terrible things. But you know what? You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting, and it's easy. It's easier to settle for that than it is to grow and to blossom. It's easier, right? Because when you're moving towards the path of love or you're moving towards the path of alignment, just to open this up, it's harder because there's a level of newness that's required of you. You have to make better decisions. You have to form better habits. You have to be more responsible. You have to be more considerate. You have to always make sure that for the most part, you're operating from a space of love or bringing yourself back to a space of love. You have to operate from faith rather than fear. And that's really, really hard. That's really hard. It's definitely possible, but it takes work. And so another reason we might be going back to the things that were actually harmful for us, those things that God shut the door on, is because it's just easier. It's easier. But I think many of us are in a space where if you reopen those doors, like when I think about reopening any of those doors, it actually feels like death. And so I'm like, I'd rather sit here in this discomfort and wait and be obedient to God than to even walk towards that door, because that's the path to death and deception. And where God is taking me is the path to light and truth and love and alignment and all the things I prayed for. So you're in a very special time right now. It may not feel like it in this moment, but you are. And so remember, see everything that happens as a lesson and a blessing from God. There's always something to learn, even in the tiniest moments in your life. There's so much we can learn, even in the most mundane moments. And so understand that God is refining you. God is preparing you. And I know, like, waiting, you may have been waiting for a while. Like, for me, it's been almost 6 months. And I'm like, so how much longer? Like, it's giving like SpongeBob waiting for water. Like, can I get a drop? Patience is a virtue. God is working everything out behind the scenes. You've elevated. You're on a new level. All that stuff in your past that God moved you away from, we can let it go with love. I was going to say that it's beneath you, but let me not. We can let it go with love, and we can still have love for those people and like appreciate those spaces for what they were without romanticizing it, without trying to trick ourselves into thinking the experience was something different than what it was, without gaslighting ourselves so that way we can go back. Like, no, See it for what it was, appreciate it for what it was, be thankful for the lesson, and leave it. Because God wants you to leave it, because you can't take any of that with you. It's not what God wants. And here's the thing, like I do believe that sometimes when we are so stubborn and we want to take something from our past with us that God wants us to leave behind, it can delay a blessing. So say you have a friend who, like, when you're with them, you have love for them, but they don't bring out your best self. Like maybe they're just someone who gossips and talks about people all the time. And you probably used to do it too. Like that was your friend. You were engaging in it, and it gave you a sense of like closeness to those people or to that person. And now like the two of you don't talk. And so there's a part of you that just like misses having a friend, right? And so you're like, you know what? Let me reach back out to them and see if we can pick up where we left off. And so you're in this new season of your life and you're elevating, but this person is still talking negatively about people and gossiping and doesn't have anything going on for themselves. And so now you're in this like renewed, just like powerful, beautiful energy, and you have this person in your ear just like spewing negativity all day, every day. Don't you think that's going to mess with you? Don't you think that that's going to distract you from what it is God is trying to have you do in this moment? So think about it like that. Like, don't let anything that God has told you to leave behind, don't let it come back into your life. Don't invite that back. It's not worth it. Even if you don't know the reason, even if it makes no sense. Because I've had people in my life try to come back into my life. I welcomed them back with open arms, and then they just ghosted me. And I had prayed to God, if there's any person, relationship in my life that is not for me, please show me. And when those people ghosted me, I was like, yep, I was right. It was out of alignment. And I knew it intuitively, but I tried to make it work because it felt comfortable for me, because I felt like I was, I felt alone. I felt like, well, we were friends, and like maybe it was a genuine community. Maybe I was overthinking it. Maybe like my intuition was wrong. No, I prayed to God about that. Gone. And it's for a reason. I don't know why. There's no bad blood. I don't think those people are bad people. I don't. But for some reason, I can't take them with me. It's just not aligned in this moment. And I have to accept that. So I say all of this to say, leave those doors shut. God closed them for a reason. We cannot keep trying to get back what God has already delivered us from. There is a whole future ahead of you. So much love and light and positivity and good opportunities waiting for you. Don't try to pull back things you've already outgrown into your life just because you're in a season of discomfort. Don't do that to yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For those of you who've been subscribed for a minute, I'm back. Needed to heal and just be with God for some time. So yeah, love you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. I love seeing your comments. Like, are you in a transition period? What revelations are you learning during this time? How are you fighting the temptation to go back to what's familiar? How are you stepping out on faith? Give some advice to people in the comments below, because you never know who needs to hear it. And please share this video for anyone who might need to hear this message. Thank you guys so much. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.